Hello, welcome to the very first subscriber showdown. This is a new show where I have a best 2 out of 3 series of random battles on Pokemon Showdown against one of my many beautiful subscribers. Today's episode is against YouTuber Zardblade. I will leave a link to his channel in the description, and I hope you enjoy. So he leads off with a Poliwrath, and I get this shitty little Kricketot, but then he switches out into his Ninetales, and I switch out into my Blossom because I expected him to go for a fighting type move. Then I see he's got his Ninetales, so I go into my Gyarados, take a Fire Blast, and I get a burn, unfortunately. But then he switches out back into his Poliwrath as I go for the bounce, taking a bit of burn damage. I get the bounce, take some nice damage, and he puts a substitute on. And then he starts to tighten his focus. I get the rest to get my health back to full, and I eat my Chesto Berry to wake me up, so that's nice. But that does mean I take the Focus Punch because I didn't get to hit him. But I go for the Dragon Dance here, so I've got +1 attack and speed, and then he goes for a rest and goes back to sleep because he's a little dickhead. But then this turn I go for the bounce. I misses the waterfall because I'm in the air. I go for the bounce, take out the substitute, and take a waterfall for 8%, so I can take those all day. He switches out into his Rhydon as I go for another bounce, which obviously isn't going to do much. Then he goes for an Earthquake, so I think he must have misclicked. And then he switches back out into his Poliwrath to take the Ice Fang, which does nothing. Then he switches back into a Sneasel. I go for the bounce. He misses the low kick, so I'm in the air. I get the bounce off. He hits the low kick this turn, and I know that an Ice Fang will take him down, so I finish him off with the Ice Fang, and that raises, because my Moxie raises my attack a bit more. Brings in the Lucario with the Bullet Punch. I go for the bounce because I know that a +2 attack bounce is going to kill it. And then I'm now at +3. I go for the bounce again, he puts in the substitute. I take down the substitute. Oh no, I miss, I don't get down the substitute this turn. He hits me with a waterfall, taking down to 10% health. I go for the bounce. This turn I get the bounce off, kill the substitute. Then his waterfall gets a crit and takes down all of my 10%, which is pretty shitty. So I go into my Blossom, he switches out into his Ninetales, and I get the Toxic off. But then I switch out Afraid of the Fire move because I don't want to be taking that. That would hurt. I go into the Garbodor because Garbodor can do nothing, so I just using it to take some damage. And he 2-hit KOs me with the Fire Blast, and he's taking some good poison damage. I bring in my Mamoswine. As he brings in the Poliwrath, I go for the Earthquake, bring it down to 17. I take a bit of Life Orb damage, but then he goes for the Waterfall. Unfortunately for me, he gets critical, but this last Earthquake will kill it and leaves me on 20 health. I go for the Earthquake as he goes for the Aqua Tail, but fortunately he misses, and I get the last Earthquake to kill us both. And then he brings out his Ninetales. I bring in my Kricketot, and he misses the Fire Blast. I went for the Endeavour because I was sashed, and I could have got him down to 1 health. But then I misclicked here, and I missed Endeavour, and I went for the Bug Bite, so I just wasted my Kricketot, which is shitty. I just wasted a perfectly good thing to do. But then he kills me with the Fire Blast. The Toxic takes him down to red health. I bring my Leddy knowing I can outspeed it, and I get the Bug Buzz to kill it. And now he's just got a Larvitar left, so I go for the Bug Buzz because Leddy's not needed. He gets the Stone Edge, 1-hit knockouts me, and then he gets a Toxic Orb. But I go into my Blossom and go for the Giga Drain, and that's the end of the first battle. Okay, so on the second battle, my screen recorder messed up, so you missed the start where he sends out a Shiftry, I send out a Starly, but then obviously I switched into my Excalibur to take a Giga Drain or whatever it was. But then he goes for the Sucker Punch, so I go for the Mega Horn, but unfortunately for me he has the Sash, so I do take a bit of Life Orb damage as he goes for another Sucker Punch, and I finish him off with the Iron Head, taking even more Life Orb damage, which sucks. And then I was thinking I could outspeed, but he goes for the Brave Bird, kills me, takes a little bit of recoil damage, and I go into my Sharpedo to get the Protect so that I can get my speed boost. Thinking back, when I see that he used the U-turn, I should have switched out, but I stayed in stupidly, and that takes me down to red health. but I get a bit of leftovers, and I'm now at +2 speed. So I go for the protect just to get a bit more leftover health, and then I go for the waterfall, and he takes me down with the seismic toss. So this battle is not going well. Then I go into for the Landorus and almost take out the Blissey with the focus blast, as it goes for a thunder wave that doesn't affect me. And then I go for an earth power just to kill the Blissey, and that Blissey's dead. And in comes Tentacool. I switched out predicting water move into my Salamence, but he has the 4 times effective ice beam and takes me down in one hit. So I go into my Piplup. He uses the Giga Drain, and I use the hidden power electric and pop his balloon. But then he goes for the Toxic Spike, and I go for Yawn to force a switch because I don't want to take another Giga Drain. But unfortunately for me, he goes into the Venusaur, so I have to switch the fuck on out of there into my Landorus to take a Giga Drain, and does a fair bit of damage. So I go for the Psychic, but fortunately he misses the Sleep Powder, meaning that I can get the second Psychic off and take down the Venusaur. He goes into the Tentacool, and I forgot he had the Ice Beam, so I die to an Ice Beam. And then in comes my Piplup, take a Giga Drain, almost die, do some hidden power electric, take some poison damage, and the next Giga Drain kills me. And I'm down to my last Pokemon, which is my Krokorok, which is now poisoned. He goes to Scald, almost kills me, but I go for the Earthquake, take down the Tentacool. As he goes, I get my Moxie, and he goes into the Hydreigon and kills me with a Draco Meteor. So that was not a good battle. Well played, Zardblade. So I lead off with my Cranidos as he goes into the Abomasnow, and then I switched into my Shedinja because stupidly, I don't even know, I forgot it was hailing, and so I just got killed straight away by the hail. So I go into my Minun, give it a Thunderbolt, and somehow live a Blizzard, but it freezes me. So I just decide, fuck it, I'll hang around because none of my other Pokemon can take anything from this Abomasnow, so I just let my Minun stay in, see if I can unfreeze, but I do get Leech Seeded, and take another Blizzard somehow, but then the hail kills me. So I go back into my Cranidos, realising I have Fire Punch. So I live a Blizzard, and then I hit the Fire Punch, and I wonder why the fuck I did not do that in the first place. It was a terrible misplay on my part. And then I Fire Punch the Crustle, and as I take Stealth Rocks, take some hail damage, and then just get another Fire Punch off on the Crustle before it kills them with an Earthquake. And I go into my Poliwhirl, and I go for the Waterfall, kill the Crustle, and take a bit of Life Orb damage. And here he goes into his Tranquil, and he goes for the Detect as I go for the Ice Beam, so unfortunately for me I do miss it and take a bit of hail, but so does he. And this time I get the Ice Beam off, but it's not enough to kill it. I take a bit more Life Orb, and he almost kills me with a Return, but it is enough to take me down to hail damage. So I go into my Claydol because why the fuck not? And he goes to the Detect, so I miss my Ice Beam, and I'm taking hail damage. But this turn he goes to the Return, takes me down a fair bit, but I do kill it with the Ice Beam, and he sends me with Mudkip, and there's not much I can do to this Mudkip, so I just Psychic Hit, but it kills him with the Waterfall. So I go into my Gligar and go for the Acrobatics. It is enough to kill it with the Flying Gem, but he goes into a Blissey, and I know I've got no chance, so I just go for an Acrobatics. It does a fair bit, but it kills me. It almost kills me with an Ice Beam, but the hail then knocks me down. And that is the end of the battle. Well played, Zardblade. In the end, you won. It was the best man that won, obviously. I did do some terrible, terrible misplays. I'm not even sure how I did that. But thank you for watching. If you would like to take part in the next couple of subscriber showdowns, send me a private message and we'll see if we can work out something. But thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment and a subscribe, or even share this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again, and goodbye.